Hello, Market Club members everywhere. Adam Hewson here, coming to you from the digital studios of Market Club. Well, it's Friday. It's the end of the week, the end of the month, and the end of the trading quarter as well. Lots going on. We're starting off with gold today because of what's going on in Germany with the Deutsche Bank, and that is a serious thing. It hasn't all come out yet, but the bank itself is heavily indebted. And unless it gets an infusion from the Merkle regime, it's probably going to have a problem, a big problem. So we're looking at gold because I think that's eventually people will start looking at that as a store of value, which is what I think will happen in Europe when some of these other banks have problems as well. So looking at the general formation, this is a daily chart of close-only gold. As you can see, we had a major signal in gold right here. This is a monthly signal, and this is all the way back at the beginning of the year. There's the price right there, 1,141. That was telling you the longer term trend, the super long term trend was actually up. And you can see this type of movement we're seeing up and down, up and sort of meandering flat. This is a kind of almost a flat formation. And what we're waiting for now is this triangle, the weekly trade triangle, to turn green. Now, let me just show you how we configure that. So the last trade triangle we had was right here at 1,335. And that was saying the indication just to get out of the market or be short and just sort of hold on for the time being. So I think next week we're looking at somewhere around the 1347 level. If we see the market go over that level, then game on. We're going to see this weekly trade triangle turn green, and we'll see the market go higher, in our opinion. But the trend, longer term, looks like it wants to go higher. We just need a confirmation on the intermediate term trend, and that'll come from a weekly trade triangle. So watch that very carefully. This is crude oil. It's presenting a rather interesting picture. Certainly the level to watch here in crude oil on the November contract that we're watching very carefully is $48.30. Okay, that's a barrel. If the market goes over there, it'll turn our weekly trade triangle green, indicating a trend that's going higher. And you can see how this market sort of had the move up, had the sort of sideways action. It's over the 50 line, which is another good sign, but wait to pull the trigger at 48.30. That's the key level for us to pull the trigger on. So let's see how that plays out. Okay, we're looking at the Dow, and this is a daily chart of the Dow. Choppy. Choppy is the only word I can say. You can see if you can draw like a big box around the current action for the last, really since the beginning of September. It's right here. That's it. Everything's been contained for the last 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, in this broad trading range. And clearly the market's getting ready to do something. If you look at how we did for the quarter, this is the Dow Jones. The quarter, we were up 1.19%. And for the month, we're down 1.4%. And for the week, we're down 0.65%. And it's probably flat for the week right now with today's action. It just shows you there's really no strong trend here in this market. Now, what we do in a situation like that is to look at our trade triangles. And then looking at our trade triangles, we can see that the monthly right here is up. The weekly right here is down. So we have this conflict, meaning you really should be on the sidelines. And that's would have saved you a lot of effort and pain during this time window. There's the weekly right there. So it actually happened actually the end of August. So you can see we avoided all of this choppy action. But look at how the RSI is setting up here, because we're really getting that little bit, not a strong divergence, but it's beginning to build. And I would say if we were to close, certainly we have to go over 18.5 to get this thing going on the upside in any meaningful way. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. But something is happening in this market. You should pay close attention and be very careful. Similar picture in the S&P 500, sort of big choppy sideways markets. Trade triangles are definitely mixed on this one. You've got the weekly down and the monthly up, conflict, sideline position. Let's wait until this is resolved. And weekly trade triangle down, monthly up, conflict, sideline position here. Really be careful and just let the market tell you what it wants to do. It's right poised on the 50 line. That could be a clue. We're sort of trying to make the turn up, but we really haven't been successful as of right now. Now, this is the NASDAQ. A little different picture in the NASDAQ because our trade triangles are green, and with the exception of the daily, which is not so important, but the monthly and the weekly are green, indicating a strong trend. Also, you've got the RSI line above 50, another good sign. And if we look at this market for the quarter, it's actually up 8.89% for the quarter, which is a phenomenal quarter for any equity. Now, in the month of September, we're up about a 1%. And for the week, we're down about 0.7%. So not a lot going on, but certainly the big quarter for the NASDAQ. And that's obviously helped largely by Amazon and a few other companies along those similar lines. But we are above 50. We are in a bull trend in the NASDAQ. I would trade this market from the long side. Hey, I'm Adam Hewison. Let's pay close attention to what's going on in Europe, especially with Germany, and also pay close attention to gold. That could be a real tip-off in terms of what's happening in the world. So thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll be back on Monday.